Hey guys, Tarke, and here we are with the D.VA character spotlight, and wow, this is a very, very cool hero. I think this is my favorite of the day. So, as you can see from the get-go, you have this pilot, and then you have this giant mech suit behind her. The whole character of this girl is that she is a streamer, and she streams from inside her giant mech, killing people. That's why you can see she's got all the logos and stuff all over herself. A lot of her voiceovers are talk about APM, and basically they sound like obnoxious streamer stuff. So it's a pretty fun and pretty unique character. So if we go over to this next slide, we can see her early iterations. I'll turn my camera for you so you can see the bottom one. Okay, so as you can see their first sketches going all the way through. Now, it was quite interesting listening to the way they spoke about this at the panel. Basically, what they wanted is they just wanted a mech from the get-go, and they wanted this duality between this young girl and the mech, and then as they went on, the mech got like bulkier and bulkier. But then they decided they wanted to add jetpacks, and then in between 3 and 4 you can see where they had to do like a major redesign, make it more streamlined. You see the jetpacks come in, and here we have the final iteration of D.VA, and again you can see the logos all over her. Now the really interesting thing, for my mind at least, you see this like green sphere here? This is called her gamer zone, and that will work like headshot. So if you hit that green sphere, you will always crit against her, which is a pretty cool mechanic. And in case it's not obvious, she is a tank. Literally, she is a tank roll and a mech. So let's go over to her abilities. Now before we cover her abilities, I want to mention her passive, because her passive is pretty insane. Basically, if she dies, she doesn't die. If the mech dies, she backflips out of it and she becomes the pilot. She doesn't have any abilities as a pilot, she just has a pistol, and the pistol has quite rapid semi-automatic fire. Now the cool thing about the pistol is that it gains her ult charge very quickly, and she has got an ultimate as a pilot, and guess what it is? She calls her mech suit back down, so it'll be a pretty interesting mechanic. She is a tank after all, so you want to take all the hits. You finally kill the tank, outshoots the pilot then kills you, she jumps back into the tank. Pretty cool. So let's start with fusion cannons. Fusion cannons are these 2 big beastie guns you see here. Now these are described as 2 dual-wielding rapid-fire shotguns. Yeah, rapid-fire shotguns with quite a substantial range. They shoot in a cone, so obviously if you're quite stacked up, you'll get hit by the full cone. If you're at long range, you'll only get hit by half the cone, but it still seems to have quite a long range from the clips that they showed us. Now the important thing to note of the fusion cannons, to make them somewhat balanced when you fire, with the fusion cannons active, you rapidly decrease your movement, so you get very slow when you're firing. Now the cool thing about D.VA is, as she is a tank, her role is to enter the team fight, kind of make everyone scatter with her crazy damage and everything. But if you run away from her, because she's slow, you can escape quite easily, so there is a certain level of balance there. We then go on to the boosters. Now, the boosters act quite similar to Reinhardt in it's a forced forward momentum, but they let you fly. Yep, you can fly. You can go straight up, you can go forward, you can do whatever. You can steer, you can turn, so it's more flexible than the Reinhardt charge, but you are forced into going forward. You cannot fly backwards with this. We then go into... oh, and it also has a very low cooldown, sorry. We then go into Defense Matrix. This seems pretty overpowered in my mind. The way that Defense Matrix work, as you can see from this weird like hologram grid thing, is you shoot it out in a massive cone in front of you. You reflect all enemy projectiles while you channel this ability. This includes ultimates. This also includes abilities hitting you. I believe from the front only. If you hit them from behind, I don't think will be affected by the Matrix, but I don't quote me on that. So what you can do with this is, in a team fight, just cover your whole team with it, and for the duration of the charge, you will reflect all abilities. You can use this to counter a Pharah ultimate, for example, and completely negate the skill. Let's say you have a Reaper and he's doing his ultimate, you drop this on top of him and he's safe. Really powerful, really crazy overpowered. I'm assuming it has a crazy long cooldown. They didn't mention what it is, but pretty cool ability. Her ultimate is Self-Destruct, and as you can see by this really vibrant explosion, which hurts my eyes a little bit, yeah. She backflips out of her mech, a massive alarm goes off for everyone, and after 5 seconds they have the biggest explosion in-game, they call it. They say you cannot survive it. The only way you can survive it is line of sight, so you can just hop behind a wall, rather amusingly, but the range is huge, so you can't just run out of it unless you're like Trace and maybe triple blink. but basically line of sight or you're dead. Now the very cool thing about the Self-Destruct is that if you look at her full kit, what you can do is you can boost it in and then press Self-Destruct while flying, backflip out of it, and it sort of continues to fly into the enemy team. Explosions, good stuff. Another very important point before I go on is this ultimate will regain your ultimate charge, because when you backflip out of the mech, you revert to pilot form, where you just have the charge up ultimate to call back your mech and the pistol fire. Any damage you do with Self-Destruct will recharge your cool mech ultimate. That is very, very important and crucial to correct D.Va play. So here we'll see all the abilities in action. Now again, I have the virtual ticket. I cannot take video, I can only take screenshots. So here we can see just the panel. You can see her light gun, you can see the cool mech ultimate, you can see her artwork. Here we have a more clearer image, but I thought some of you might like to have seen the panel. So pretty cool stuff. Again, you have the very heavy branding, all of this stuff, you've seen it before, pretty cool. And here's what she looks like in game. So you can see her sort of UI is from inside the mech, which is really cool in my mind. And you can see these two fusion cannons on either side of her, and they have alternate fire. And I wanted to really stress this point. I'll quickly turn off my cam so you can see her health. She has 500 health. She is a tank after all. And if you go to the next image, you see how it alternates. So just like they pulse backwards and forwards, alternating as such. This is what it looks like from, you know, the enemy POV. Pretty menacing. You can see the cone. It's got a decent range on it. And that isn't the full cone. That is just a mid-projectile shot. And you can sort of imagine with the rapid fire shooting from both of them, everything in front of you is just getting hit, and it does pretty big damage. So here we go again. You can see more clearly this headshot region. She's really not very well protected, so it makes sense that you would get criticals for hitting her. And again, you see the ultimates. The particles, really old school. I really like the way they've designed this hero. Massive fan. So here we have her in flight. You can see there's a timer here. You can cancel the flight as you're going. Don't worry, we'll have other screenshots to make this a bit more clear. But you can see that if you go back, she's jetted upwards and forwards. If you kind of go back to this one, she's kind of jetting up and forwards. And then here she is outside. You can see she went through this arch here. And the timer's gone down respectively. It's about to end. And here is a picture from the enemy POV. So you can see it a little more clearly. And this is kind of what it looks like. Again, just a really, really cool hero. And this is the defensive matrix, so you can get an idea of the sort of range it covers. And in the background, yes, that is a Pharah mid-ultimate. So as you can see, it sort of channels out, it covers everything. I'm not sure about the sides of the AoE. I'm not sure how close the visual is representative to the actual effect. It's something without testing. I don't have beta, I'm not at BlizzCon, so I can't play this. Without actual hands-on testing, I can't say any more, but you know, it gives you an idea of how the mechanic works. Here you can see it from the outside, you can see the ultimate going into it. It looks really cool. 10 out of 10. OP ability. Here we see the backflip. You can see how she's just used her ultimate. She's flipping out of it and it starts charging up. You can see it from her POV. She's now landed. So you can see her health as a pilot is quite low. This is her recharge. She's got 20 out of 20 on her pistol. And again, this recharges very, very rapidly. I saw her unload a clip into a Soldier 76 later on in the video, and that pretty much got her to about 80% just from one clip, so you could very easily and very rapidly get back into your mech if you manage to survive. Now, here's the explosion itself. Again, it's a video, I'm taking screenshots, it's kind of hard to get it perfect. Here you can get it just pre-explosion, 2% charge, 2... really big alarms, everything starts screaming at you, and both the enemy and your team gets this big warning, big over-the-top visuals, big fan, and 5-player multi-kill, and the ultimate completely recharged itself, obviously, because you got a massive kill spree. And then one thing which is also pretty cool, and I'll hide my camera again so you can see this, you get this character panel here, starts glowing and on fire and everything, and it's just, you know, a really pretty, well-designed, and just fun hero. I've just got to commend the Overwatch team. They've done a really good job with these new heroes. The May video I just recently loaded, she looked really interesting with the support stuff. We're going to get to Green Ninja Genji. But yeah, really, really good job, Blizzard. Very impressed. So that's the end of my screen grabs. I hope that was informative and it helped someone. If you liked this video, then please subscribe and check out my other Overwatch videos. And as I just said, I'll have a Genji ability spotlight coming up in the next hour. I'm Tarke. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.